Mount Merapi is one of the most active volcanoes in the world. This active mountain is located in the province of Yogykarta. More precisely, Mount Merapi is situated in Sleman Regency, or the northern part of the special region of Yogykarta. Before it erupts, Mount Merapi shoots a hot white cloud into the air. This clump of white clouds is called Wedus Gembel by the community. The temperature is very high and it's greatly feared by the people who live on the slopes of Mount Merapi. Mount Merapi has a story of how it was formed. Do you want to know the story? Let's listen. A long time ago, the place where Mount Merapi is now located was a vast plain in the form of a huge forest. Although it was a very large jungle, there were few people who lived there. Deep in the huge forest, there was an ever-burning iron melting furnace and a stilt house. Here, two mighty masters were living in the forest. The masters were famous as heirloom kris makers. They were Empu Rama and Empu Pamadi. Unlike most of the kris makers, Empu Rama and Empu Pamadi simply used their hands to pump the smouldering iron to a kris. On the other side, far south of the forest, there was a mountain and a rocky beach. The mountain was called Jamur Dipa Mountain. The mountain, which was on the south coast, was a volcano that was no longer active. Batara Narada and Dewa Panyarikan flew over Jamur Dipa Mountain. They seemed to be checking something.
What is the result of your investigation of the Jamur Dipa Mountain?
After we examined Jamur Dipa Mountain, it finally became clear that the mountain has caused Java Island to tilt to the south. So Jamur Dipa Mountain has to be moved to the lowlands in the north.
Are you able to take on this heavy task?
To the north of Jamur Dipa Mountain, there is a lowland in the form of a dense forest. Jamur Dipa Mountain can be moved to the forest, but there are two master craftsmen, kris makers, that occupy the forest. They live there.
Then I order you two, Batara Narada and Dewa Panyarikan, to tell the two masters to move immediately.
Meanwhile, Empu Rama and Empu Pamadi were checking the kris they had finished making. Batara Narada and Dewa Panyarikan descended from the sky to meet them.
O Empu Rama and Empu Pamadi, your magic is heard up to the heavens. Batara Guru admires both of you greatly.
O Batara Narada and Dewa Panyarikan, we thank you for the flattery that we do not deserve. If we may know, what made a god come down here?
So, far south, on the coast of the sea, there stands Jamur Dipa Mountain, and the existence of the mountain makes the island of Java tilt to the south. To make sure the island of Java does not tilt any further, Jamur Dipa Mountain must be moved to the central part of the lower island of Java. And this forest is just the right place to move Jamur Dipa Mountain. Batara Guru orders you two powerful masters to move from this forest immediately. Otherwise, the island of Java will become even more tilted.
Forgive us, but we cannot move from this forest. If we move, the kris we make won't be as good quality. Only in this forest can we make our kris of good quality. After all, there are still many places on this island besides this forest to put a mountain.
I'm sorry, but this is the place we must move Jamur Dipa Mountain to.
Batara Narada and Dewa Penyarikan tried hard to convince Empu Rama and Empu Pamadi to leave. But Empu Rama and Empu Pamadi insisted on staying.
All right, if you don't want to move from this forest, we have no choice. We will force you.
Finally, after failing to persuade them, Batara Narada and Dewa Penyarikan decided to use violence to force the two masters to move. Empu Rama and Empu Pamadi, who were refusing to move, immediately took out their kris. The fight could not be avoided. Batara Narada faced Empu Rama, while Dewa Penyarikan fought against Empu Pamadi. A fierce battle lasted until night, and continued until the next day. There were no signs of who would win and who would lose. Finally, Empu Rama smashed his kris into Batara Narada's wand, just as Empu Pamadi slammed his kris into the wand of Dewa Penyarikan. Their wands were destroyed instantly. Batara Narada and Dewa Penyarikan returned to the sky to meet the Batara Guru and report their failure.
There is no other way. You must move Jamur Dipa Mountain now, even though it will mean sacrificing those two masters.
Batara Narada and Dewa Penyarikan finally moved the Jamur Dipa Mountain and brought it to the forest where the two kris masters lived. Not long after, Empu Rama and Empu Pamadi saw a large object falling from the sky toward them. Mount Jamur Dipa had finally moved, although at the top of the mountain a crater had appeared and begun emitting white smoke. The two kris masters died as they were hit by Mount Jamur Dipa. Mount Jamur Dipa fell right on the hearth where the two masters were heating iron. The fireplace inside is what still causes Mount Dipa to shoot white smoke from its crater. Eventually, Gunung Jamur Dipa became widely known as Mount Merapi.